our practices. They're watching how we perform with money. They're watching what we do with money. My daughter is teaching my almost 9-year-old grandsons about stocks. You know what I mean? She's been doing little trades with them and they understand stuff about their stocks and stuff. They understand the stuff they're getting there. And it's so cool to watch because we're changing the game now for generations. And a lot of people are like, why be concerned with stocks? Again, we're in a capitalist, consumer driven lifestyle, right? So there's billions and billions of people fucking spending money out there. Not everybody tomorrow is going to wake up and be an investor. Like that's not going to happen, right? So that's why the stocks are the way it is. That's why you can make money in the stocks the way that you can because of the way that our countries, because it's not just our country, right? It's all the countries
Everybody.
making money. Yeah, see, you were with your job for 20 fucking years, and then you look back like, damn. And that's how I felt, the first couple years that I was with the company that I was with. And I was like, damn, I could have been like putting this money into like, what the fuck's wrong with me? And then when
Hmm.
I one of the things that I did utilize because it was like, shit, damn, I could just take this money out and use this money and I would and put it to use, but I didn't put it to investment use. I put it to whatever was going on that I needed to use it for. And that's the big difference is are we taking it and are we looking at ways to invest and grow and especially ways to make you money without you having to work, like really put in the work. This past year, all this working, and I know a lot of people are like, why, how are you still awake? And this, because we go to bed like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, up at the crack of dawn, getting it in. And I had to take a step back and I was just like, I left my job to work for myself. And I basically took all of that work ethic and just came over here and now I'm doing it again. And that's not what I want to do. I don't want to be working like a dog, regardless. Like that's the whole point. And even though in the beginning of anything that you're building, you will be working tireless hours, you will be putting it, putting in time. But I was like, I don't want to do this forever. I don't want to sit here and be fucking work, 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 work all the time forever. So that's what got me thinking about investing in ways to invest and long-term and short-term ways that things that I can do to create wealth that I don't have to once again feel like I'm at work grinding
Right.
constantly. Brenda, thank you for the stars. Boo.
I think I don't remember what I was looking at, but I had seen something, and it was talking about, have you ever seen a millionaire sleep? Like they're always awake, they're always going. And then the one thing that they did said that made so much sense is they said if you're on the West Coast, you can't sleep until 8 o'clock in the morning because on the East Coast it's already 11 and they've been
Right,
trading and doing whatever since 5 o'clock in the morning. So you
right,
and I was like,
right.
that makes so much sense. By the time, like, I know West Coast, and even as we get to where I am, by the time I wake up, so much has already happened. So much is already
Right,
like, oh shit, like I've been missed. If I,
right,
when we come to investing and thinking smart and what's going on in the world, and it's already happened. By the 11 o'clock, it's
right,
everything's already gone down. It's gonna be what it is. And I
right,
just thought about that. Like, yeah, if you do, you think about wealthy people, even if they're not working for themselves and they are just in the market um, of doing things like that. You you can't sleep on.
no.
You can't have that mindset of
It's an actual thing where wealthy people are up early in the morning, like before sunrise. There's something about, and I've just seen, I watch a lot of different gurus. It's just been way too many people who say the same thing about getting up before the sun, being
yeah,
up when that sun energy is coming up, and they take that time, whether it's yoga, whether it's meditation, whatever it
yeah,
is that they do running. You know how many wealthy people fucking jog and shit like that in the morning? There's a
Yep.
reason why these people are doing what they're doing. There's a reason why they are jogging when when the fucking sun is coming up. And we look at these people like, oh, what the fuck are you doing at this, 7 a.m. jogging and shit?
Yeah.
There's a reason to it. There is not just a science, but that
Imagine
energy.
what they get accomplished before noon. You know what I mean? They wake up, they have breakfast, they probably put on real clothes and put on their
Yeah,
makeup or they look normal. They don't look like they rolled out
right,
of bed. They done went exercising, they stopped by the post office, they paid a couple of bills, probably cleaned their
right,
house or had the lady come clean their house, whatever the case is. They got some laundry done before they left the house. They done went to Target and made all the runs. And we
right.
talking about by noon. And by noon, I'm still trying to get out of bed at times. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, wow.
You know what the crazy part of about cleaning, right, is that I literally used to work Monday through Friday because working at a doctor's office, that's the whole reason why I went into medical. Not the whole reason, but one of them, because I was like, I want to do Monday through Friday and then have my weekends off. It'll be great, right? And then one of the things I've noticed is that Monday through Friday, I would work and have that hustle and bustle, and then I would spend my fucking Saturday cleaning. That was my Saturday.
Yeah.
My whole Saturday is cleaning, laundry, and all of this shit, or Sunday, because depending on sometimes I used to work Tuesday
Yeah.
through Saturday. Good morning, Trina. So it was like I would take this whole fucking day to clean, to this, to dust, and all of this shit, and then my whole fucking Saturday is gone on fucking that. And I remember I knew this one nurse practitioner, and she was like, one of the things that her and her husband did that she will always remember that they did right was when the kids were little and they were working so crazy and their hours were all crazy, they hired, that the maids to come in and do like the minimum, like the to keep the house where it's not fucking falling apart, basically, right? Because they were so busy instead of spending, and so the time that they did, the downtime that they did have, they were able to spend with their children instead of just cleaning and attending to the house that they couldn't attend to the time. And I was like, you know what? I
That
never
is my
thought about that
ultimate
because,
goal for the new year.
and it's
Is
not
at
as
least
expensive
every
as
two
you
weeks.
think.
No, every 2 weeks I want to get a house cleaner, and for 3 hours it's like $80. And at the end of the day,
Not
like,
bad,
I don't make them clean my whole house. I just want my floors done, my bathrooms done, and like the
right?
dusting that nobody ever wants to do. I can
Dusting
keep
is
my
my
house
biggest thing.
right. I can do the keep up. I can pick up, or I
Right,
don't have any carpet anymore, so they won't have to vacuum. But I can do
right,
my own dishes. I can put my stuff in the dishwasher. But the big
right,
wipe down of my cabinets or the wipe down of my bathroom. I said for January, every 2 weeks, I'm going to do that. I'm going
right.
to do that.
Because
I'll spend $86 to have somebody come in and just,
if you think about the time it saves you, though, just, and again, we're talking about investments here. We're not just talking about spending your money on maids. We're talking about investments here, you guys. This is an investment because the time that you can take away from you dusting every little trinket, picture, and shit that you got everywhere, wiping your baseboards and all of that shit, you actually could have went outside. You could have went to a
yeah.
park, could go to the beach, to the lake, get
You could have
out
caught up
of,
on homework. You could have caught up on work.
learn some shit, take a class. I mean, you got to think of it as you're where are you investing your time? And I was raised where we did the weekly, that weekly kind of clean shit, every fucking weekend
Yeah.
you're cleaning, the music blasting, my mom's playing Spanish music, she's cleaning and shit like that, so we're raised to do this, which it doesn't mean that you're lazy because now you
Mm-mm.
have things that come. But if you're thinking about time management and using your time wisely in investments, what are you investing that time in? I would rather invest my time in something again that's creating more wealth or something like that versus cleaning shit that you
Yeah.
know what I mean, that somebody else can come and do for me.
Brooklyn even she's
So
got a little friend that has a cleaner. I don't know if it's every 2 weeks or every week. on Saturdays. And so the little girl would stay the night all the time, but she'd have to go home on Saturday to pick up. And I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, I have to pick up because the cleaner comes. And even, her mom is like me. Like, I would never make a cleaner come in and pick up my fucking kid's bedroom. Or, like
Right.
I wouldn't. Like, my kids need to be responsible for certain things. But that's what her
Right.
mom said. Like, the cleaner would come in and do vacuum their floors or mop the floors and do the dusting and just
Right.
kind of straighten up. And she was like, it doesn't cost very much and it makes
No,
my life so much easier. And you
it
got to think
does.
about it too. Where's your headspace when your house starts to get dirty and dusty and you get
Exactly.
overwhelmed? You start to,
Clutter.
yeah, you can't focus anymore. I know I can't. I'll go sit in my room and close the door and be like, oh my God, like
Right.
I can't do it today. I don't even want to look
And,
at it. It makes me sick
and
to
that's
even.
why, right. And that's why I'm bringing it up because you do, it starts to fuck with you. And then especially if you're someone who's busy, especially if you're someone who has a bunch of little kids, you're busy, you got the kids, it's like I can't get to this, and now you're feeling like you're falling apart because shit is dusty or it's out of place or it's this, that, and the third. And so I just put that out there because of course we're talking about investing, but this is the things
It's
like
an
that thing.
investment in
Okay,
yourself.
exactly. If you're spending money up, right? And you're like, well, I can't afford it. Let's really look at what you can afford. Because I guarantee if you cut out some other shit that you're doing, you'd be able to afford that. Even if we look at how many subscriptions do you guys have? Me, I'm not a person with a bunch of
Yeah.
subscriptions. I used to be. I used to have Hulu, fucking Netflix, HBO, and all of these different fucking subscription shits, fucking Spotify, you name it. Like all of these different fucking subscriptions to all types of shit. That shit adds up.
Yeah.
It adds up.
I mean, if
Not
you
saying
put out,
you don't cancel
if you're
your
a person
Netflix.
who like gets Starbucks every week, if you got rid of
I
Starbucks every week, I
I
know, but
used to,
if you made your own coffee at home, you could
man,
afford.
you know what? I had to look at that because I literally was my card for Starbucks was like I would put 25 at a time. So once it would drop down to 25 at a time. In a week, I actually was spending like damn near $100 just on Starbucks a week. That's $400 a month. That's probably the lowest. Okay. Having Starbucks every day, 7 days a week, you know what I mean? For 30 something fucking days. That's over $400 a month just on fucking Starbucks.
Yeah,
You know,
I
and
be like that.
when we're doing things, we're not really looking at it. We're not really thinking. Every day you go to work and you stop for that caramel macchiato. Not to say that to stop that, not to say don't do it, but if your job has a coffee maker and it's free, their coffee is free, why a couple days get that free coffee and not spend that seven, eight
Yeah,
dollars? Because most of you guys aren't just getting one coffee, right? You're getting a coffee,
no,
you might put a skull, you might put a pump, you might put a bread, or you might put a panini on there. So you're spending an average of what, $10 to $15 every morning. That's
yeah,
not including your lunches, that's not including your dinners. If we just look in the morning of everyone's Starbucks run, you're spending probably like about $400 just on your Starbucks or your Dunkin'
yeah.
Donuts or whatever your morning thing is. Think of what you could do with that $400 a day. And I'm not saying everyone stop going to Starbucks every day, but this is where you have to start to look at, where's my money going? What do I really spend my money on?
Because when I
Like,
was
let's say,
teaching, I would get a Starbucks in the morning, and then
mhm,
at like lunchtime, there would be somebody who would kind of go around and get an order. They would go to Starbucks in the afternoon for lunch, like to keep us, keep you awake, keep you going. Like we all need our
right,
coffee. And so
right.
I looked at it and I was spending between $300 and $400 a month on coffee. It's a fucking car payment.
Yeah.
A car
Yeah.
payment. When I fucking could buy a little